Hello Rockville, here's what you need to know about your city. The recap of Business Appreciation Week, the city breaks ground at the new police headquarters, and we go one-on-one with Mayor Marcuccio. All that and more on this edition of Rockville's 11. Japanese students in a cultural exchange program in the city participated in community service with Rockville High School students at Civic Center Park for our number 11 story. 100 Japanese students showed up at Civic Center Park to get their hands dirty. It was part of a cultural exchange program that immersed the Japanese 10th graders into American life. Sakura Educational Exchange USA Program Manager Stephanie Libonati organized the trip with a focus on community service.
Well, basically what we've done, we attended Rockville High School for the day, and Rockville High School, the National Honor Society, and the Green Club contacted Rockville Civic Center Park, and together we're just trying to do some activities to clean up the park, teach our students about environmental concerns, and again, you know, how we can spread community service throughout the world.
Teacher Mr. Kasaka said there was a lot of preparation for the trip.
History. And American culture and American geography and so on.
Libonati says the students appreciate the concern Americans have had in the wake of the tragic events of the recent earthquake and tsunami in Japan.
You know, the students, of course, are very worried, and they're luckily not from the area that was hit by the earthquake. But of course, friends and family are on all of our minds. I used to live in Japan myself, so of course I have friends and family that I worry about over there as well. So of course they appreciate everybody's concern and sympathy about it, and you know, anything that they can do to help. You know, the Red Cross in Japan is very, very strong, and they're doing wonderful work over there.
City horticulturalist Rob Orndorff was happy to have eager helpers for cleanup projects around Rockville Civic Center Park.
As far as I can tell, they're very enthusiastic. Everybody got off the buses, got in their groups, and went out to work. I was kind of standing there amazed that everybody dispersed as quickly as they did right on their tasks. So I'm very pleased with how quickly they went to work.
We had the chance to talk to a few Rockville High School students to find out how the day went with their Japanese counterparts.
It's been awesome because I practice Japanese, so getting to speak with them and stuff, and then seeing them how their culture is, it's like amazing for me. And then having them in our school is even better because they get to see how our culture is too.
I think this has been a really positive experience. You know, I was looking forward to this for a long time. You know, I knew they were coming a couple months ahead of time, and it was so you know, enjoyable to see a new culture and, you know, do things with them to help the community. So that's how my experience was.
And what about you, Anna?
I also felt like it was a great positive experience. I was a little apprehensive because I just wasn't sure I was going to go with somebody who didn't really know my language that well, but even though my buddy, she didn't speak English very well, we were still able to communicate just through body gestures and that universal human language with the smiles, and she could read English, so we communicated really well, and it was great. I got to see some of her culture, and I felt like it was really fun getting to show her around the school and show her what an American school was like.
I learned how to say hi, konnichiwa.
Can you tell me what your experience has been like today?
My experience was pretty fun. You know, it was a totally different culture coming along, and just being with us, it was a great pleasure.
I think it was really fun because I got to get to know them more. I've been to Japan, but I don't really speak to people that are my age group, so it was really good to get to know them.
The students will visit the U.S. for 2 weeks practicing their English and learning more about American culture. The Twin Brook Community Rec Center, in partnership with the city's Community Services Division and the Rockville Rotary Club, joined together to host a community health fair. Our Rockville 11 Isaac Asari was there to cover the event for our number 10 story.
Well, one of the things that happens with promoting awareness is that people realize that they have some behaviors, some beliefs that lead to and contribute to them being a candidate for diabetes or that heart disease or cancer, because lots of times people don't find out these things until it's, you know, well too late or far too late when things are in late stages, and that's where it gets really dangerous. So again, the prevention and early intervention really is key.
We have about 10 doctors doing all the physical examination and a specialty examination like echocardiogram and carotid ultrasound, and we're really happy that we're able to attend to the needs of these people in the community.
Prevention is crucial, and many people sometimes don't go to a doctor because they are scared that they don't have health insurance, they don't know the resources, they don't know where to go. If you check your health on a regular basis, if you have a physical, let's say, and you find out that everything is all right, wonderful. But if you need some follow-up care, it's important that you have those checkups on a regular basis. If you have any chronic disease, that you check that on a regular basis to avoid more urgent and health issues in the future.
I love the idea that I just found out that there's a clinic, a low-income clinic that's offered here in the City of Rockville that just opened up, and to know that there's certain dental clinics and all that are for reduced rates.
Members of the mayor and council visited different businesses in Rockville for the city's annual Business Appreciation Week. Here are some of the highlights for our number 9 story. Our first stop with Mayor Marcuccio was at Extreme Acro and Cheer.
It's quite a surprise to me to think of the variety that we have in the way of businesses in the city of Rockville. It's actually tremendous. Well, I think anytime you can say to a local business, we care about you, we're glad you're here, we understand that you have your needs and we have ours, and we can work together to make sure that they're both met.
I appreciate that. Well, I feel very honored to have the mayor come here today and see our facility. We've been here for 10 years, and I've really enjoyed being in the city of Rockville.
And we're really happy to be here during Business Appreciation Week to show off the wide variety of exciting and successful businesses that contribute so much to the economic life of this city.
Councilmember Mark Pershela stopped by Gillies Craft Beer and Fine Wine to say thank you for calling Rockville home.
We appreciate what businesses do for Rockville. We are a booming economic regional center, and the contributions the businesses make to employment and to the tax base really enable us to have our quality of life.
With Rockville being so organized and easy to work with, it's been an honor and a pleasure.
Councilmember John Britton stopped by Cenaria, a biotech firm working on vaccines to eradicate malaria.
Biotech and the high-tech businesses are very good for the city, help us develop a name in this area. They're very upscale industries, so that the people that are attracted to work here, hopefully live here, spend their money here, enjoy different activities here, and that helps the economy as well.
I appreciate very much the team coming out and recognizing our efforts, and particularly the efforts of the entire, this team that we've put together of people, all of whom go to work every day with the vision and goal of developing a vaccine that would prevent 1 million deaths a year from malaria.
And finally, we ended our coverage of Ready Business Appreciation Week at M. Louise Construction. Councilmember Bridget Newton was there to say thanks.
They are the only women and minority-owned construction manufacturing company in Rockville, Montgomery County, and the state of Maryland. So we welcome them, and it's been a wonderful experience today.
Let's hear it for the Ready program in Rockville. They're reaching out in a tremendous way, meeting with 54 different businesses over the course of a week, just to say thank you. We don't do that enough. We need to keep doing it.
A really exciting moment for us. Thank you, City of Rockville, for being here, for giving us such a warm welcome. We have never received this kind of reception, and we are truly grateful, and we're very much looking forward to being a part of your fabric.
Ready Executive Director Sally Sternbach said this year's event proved to be another success.
Well, it's not too many governments take the time to say thank you, so it's always very appreciative. In many cases, they'll tell you it's the first time any level of government has acknowledged that they exist and expressed their appreciation. So even if we did nothing more than that, I think the Business Appreciation Week would be worthwhile.
A pedestrian bridge that connected South Stone Street Avenue and Veers Mill Road was removed earlier this month in an impressive nighttime operation. We are there to cover it for our number 8 story. Rockville Public Works civil engineer and project manager Mary Furtick has been coordinating the removal of the Stone Street pedestrian bridge for months.
This has been a big and quite interesting project with a lot of coordination between WMATA and CSX, the 2 railroads who are underneath this bridge. They have right-of-way underneath this bridge. So it's taken a while to work our way through their process. That included their review of the calculations for the rigging that's going to be used to safely remove it and the size of the crane, etc. In addition, we're very close to some Pepco lines that are live lines that service the Rockville area, and we had to coordinate a power outage in order to do this and provide a safe condition for the bridge removal.
President of Concrete General Dan Miller said every safety precaution was taken for this project.
There's a specialized crane over here, and this crane is a 550-ton crane. Because of the location we had to set to pick this bridge, it's a little further than we like to be normally, but this crane can handle it, and the safety factors that the railroad applies, they're more than 1.5 times whatever you do, so there's plenty of room there of safety. There's been hours and hours and hours of paperwork, meetings, calculations, all for this one moment, and I'm sure in a little while you're going to film the one moment, but culmination of 6 months' work happens in seconds.
I'm standing here with Ahmed El Shafi, otherwise known as Dr. Traffic. Ahmed, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's been a couple months since we checked in with you. The weather's turning a little bit nicer. We wanted to check in to see what's been happening in your division, the Traffic and Transportation Division.
Well, there is a lot have been going on in our division. As you know, during the winter season, the weather is cold and we have snow on the ground, and that's a good time for us to do more of the planning and design for some projects. So when the weather gets better, like spring is coming up, and we are excited that we are going to implement a lot of those projects that we have been working on. We actually just started last month. We had the chance to start the traffic calming project on Edmonston and Wade, and this project is almost complete. It's kind of covered the two intersections of Edmonston and Wade because Wade is kind of like have two legs, so this project will slow down people at this location. We have a lot of projects for sidewalks under design. The biggest one is Anderson, and the north side of the street, and it's parallel to Beale, and that will be a long project. It's probably the second largest sidewalk projects we have done in the last few years since the Beale sidewalk.
A lot of community involvement with that one, is that right?
Yes, that's right. We, of course, get the community involved by letting them know about the project and get feedback from them. And then when we reach the 30% design, we have plans showing the concept of the project, so we can show the residents what trees are possibly going to be removed, how this exactly will impact their property or in front of their property, because some residents are not sure where is their right-of-way line, what they own, what the city own. So when we have the concept plan, we put all of this on a map, and the residents will be able to see exactly how will this impact their property and how the sidewalk will look like. So we had this public meeting, and we get a lot of feedback from residents, and we actually have been tweaking the design a little bit to accommodate some of the requests we heard. And we are now about 60% design, so we hope when summer is well underway, we will be constructing this project. We also have so many other projects. We have a sidewalk project. We have one on the west side of the city on Wooten Parkway, and we have several on the east side. We have one on Granther, and then we have another one on Lewis. That's also like a good sized project on Lewis Avenue near the metro station, so that should be very useful. And then we are working on another big project like the Baltimore Road project. It's will be about $5 million project, and we are now also about 65% design, and we hope we'll finish this in the next few months, and we'll be able to start construction next year. Other than construction projects, we are doing a lot of studies. We are have been working the last few months on what we call the TDM plan, which is Transportation Demand Management Plan, and the CTR, Comprehensive Transportation Review, and those are two policies pretty much deal with the developers when they come to the city and apply for new projects. How do we treat them, what requirements we ask them to do, and what kind of contribution we ask them to do, so we can improve a lot of facilities for the cities, mainly pedestrians and bike-related facilities, and the intersection improvement as needed. So we have moved along in these plans very well. We had the discussion and instruction session with the Mayor and Council, and we are finalizing the plans, and should be approved next week.
I'm at the new district courthouse that's behind us. It's about to open, and I think a lot of people are concerned about the increased traffic that's going to be in this area. What is your division doing about it?
Well, this is a big project, and it's a big building, as everybody can see. Some of the good news is that really a lot of existing trips for the other courthouses further north of this building, they already exist. So there will be a lot of shift of the traffic coming from there to this building. So reality is the city will not get impacted significantly because of this new building. It's pretty much will be just shift from one or two buildings to this one. That does not mean it will have no impact. We probably will see a little bit more because I believe this building is a little bit bigger and might have a little bit more capacity than the other buildings. We have looked at a couple things. One of them is the effect on parking in the neighborhood. And by now, we probably will find most of the streets around this building, 2-3 blocks in either direction. They either have parking meters or they have permit parking for neighborhoods. So we understand that a lot of people will want to park and they might not want to go a block or two to park in the garages, so they'll try to park in neighborhoods. So we have been installing a lot of permit parking signs, of course working with neighborhoods on this. And if there's any impact that neighborhoods will feel about this, they will work with us and we'll see what we can do about that. The other thing or two we are doing is we are concerned about pedestrian movement around the building. We understand that a lot of people will be coming in and out, and we have a very busy intersection right here at Maryland 28 and Maryland Avenue, and we do not own this intersection, so really we have not too much control over it because the state owned the intersection. However, we are installing some signs to alert drivers to be careful and yield for pedestrians. We are also playing a little bit with the traffic signal timing because we can do that. We are adding what we call like a head start for the pedestrian. So at some point, all movement for cars will not have a green light. They will have a red light, and at this point pedestrian will get a head start like 3 or 4 seconds. So when they get the walk signal for them, they will start to walk in and they will get in the intersection. So even when the cars get the green light after that, they will already see a pedestrian in the crosswalk. So this should be improving the pedestrian safety at those intersections. We are also doing something similar at the intersection next door at Maryland 28 and Washington. We work with the state on those things, and the state really is a little bit hesitant of doing more changes to the intersections until they see if there is an impact that they need to work on. So we are working with what we can do at this point, but we will be monitoring the intersections. If we need to do more, or there's something that for the intersection need to be done that we do not have control of, we will work with the state and get them to work with us on how to make modifications to the intersection to make it safer for pedestrians.
Rockville's new police headquarters is now one step closer to its new home. We were at the groundbreaking ceremony for our number 6 story. The new police headquarters will be taking over the old post office after the federal government donated the building to the city. The mayor and council welcomed the community to the event.
Welcome everyone to this wonderful day. Boy, as a little kid, I never thought I'd see this day here, that we actually, first of all, would have lost the post office as our post office, but second of all, to be able to save this wonderful building. It's absolutely tremendous.
I'd like to speak today about the 3 values that are represented today in our groundbreaking for this police headquarters that are very important to Rockville. The first is historic preservation. The second is public safety. And the third is a sensible approach to financing capital projects like this one.
Congressman Chris Van Hollen was also on hand to help break ground at this historic site.
All of you who have been a part of this effort know that it has been not an easy task. Whenever you're dealing with federal surplus property, you know what a tough challenge it can be, but we persevered together.
Thanks to the community, our mayor and council, to everyone, particularly the men and women who have worked so hard and have worked in a very confined space for many, many years. To get a state-of-the-art police department is just going to make a world of difference. It's going to be one-stop shopping for us, bringing all of our units back together here, and we think it's going to be good for the city.
Director of Rec and Parks Bert Hall is overseeing the construction project.
One of the things that you need to do projects like this and to work in government is patience and perseverance. And we certainly used a lot of that over the last 7 years.
The old post office was built in 1939, and the renovations will bring the entire Rockville City Police Force under one roof. Construction is expected to be completed in 16 months. Richard Montgomery High School senior Raynell Cooper won Jeopardy's latest teen tournament, and our Rachel Manu caught up with the winner to talk about his experience for our number 5 story.
Watching the show, I always thought I'd be pretty good at it. So yeah, it's always a goal of mine. I never thought that I would be selected to be on the show. It was, there's so many people who had auditions and a lot of really smart, charismatic people, and I'm just glad they chose me. In that last game, I was down pretty big, and I had to put it all in there in Final Jeopardy, and I was so surprised that it came out right in that result. There are people at school coming up to me who I don't even know, who I haven't even met before, talking to me, congratulating me, and everyone's talking about how all their friends at other schools are asking them if they know me. And I won $75,000. Quite a bit of it's probably going to go to college, but I'm donating an amount to the Recreation Parks Fund. I'm the youth member of the Recreation Parks Advisory Board here in the city, so I have a special connection to Rec and Parks, and I feel that I need to give back to the community, and because I love Rockville, and I just want to help make it a better place. I hope I get another chance to make some more money.
And now we're going to test Raynell on what he knows about Rockville. First question: March 10th, 1860 is a significant date in Rockville history for this reason.
What is the incorporation of Rockville as a city?
Right. This is Rockville's largest street party held every Memorial Day weekend.
What is Hometown Holidays?
Again. Rockville is home to this school, one of the nation's top educational institutions.
What is Montgomery College?
Incorrect. This is what is Richard Montgomery High.
I should get that.
This one's a little tougher. During the Revolutionary times, Rockville was known as this, after the name of this familiar landmark.
What is Hungerford's Tavern?
Got it. Winner.
April is Earth Month, and Rockville was just recently named as a contestant in the Green Power Community Challenge, a contest sponsored by the EPA. We wanted to find out more about how businesses and residents in Rockville are contributing toward this goal in our number 4 story.
What do we do with this? We put it up. We push it up. There you go.
Meet the Reed family of Twinbrook. They went solar in 2003, and their 1951 house is giving them green in more ways than one.
The average American household spends around $1,200 a year on energy, and our energy spend is probably around I'd say $300, $300 to $400.
This is our whopping $22.17 Pepco bill from January, February.
Whoa.
So that's a pretty typical bill we have for a Pepco bill.
One of the factors that helped make the house more energy efficient was installing a programmable thermostat. After the house was prepped, it was time to go solar.
Once you install the solar panels, they do their work every time the sun shines, and it's really gratifying to know that this house is, on a sunny day, completely run through solar energy, completely run by the sun.
Residents like the Reed family help contribute to making Rockville a strong contestant in the EPA's Green Power Community Challenge, an initiative Rockville's Green Chief Mark Charles says is good for the city.
The reason why the mayor and council really endorsed this is that it's really at no cost to the city. All the city staff is doing at this point is using its available resources to promote the program and ask interested citizens and businesses to think about using green power as their menu of electricity options. They don't have to exclusively use green power, but they can supplement with as much green power as they want to. You can do that a couple of different ways. You can actually purchase green power on the grid from several providers that are listed on our website. You can also install your own solar system or a geothermal system here in Rockville, and a number of businesses and some homes have actually done that.
The EPA's contest involves businesses, too. We had the chance to take a behind-the-scenes tour of 2000 Tower Oaks Boulevard, the only LEED Platinum building in the region, where David Borchardt is the Chief Sustainability Officer.
But green doesn't have to be expensive.
Borchardt says you need to know what you're using in order to be more efficient.
First thing I would do, you have to measure where you are. You have to know how much energy you're using, how much water are you using, when are you using energy and water, and there are a lot of ways to see where you might be wasting it. Is equipment running in places that it doesn't need to? The local utilities, Pepco provides rebates for doing retrofit for lighting, for motors in buildings, for all kinds of different things. You can take advantage of that and use that to help make your building more and more energy efficient.
2000 Tower Oaks Boulevard includes green amenities such as CO2 monitors in conference rooms, daylight harvesting, and recycled building materials. Borchardt says being more sustainable makes sense for employees, too.
10% of the cost of running a business is the space you rent. 80% of the cost are the people. So if you can increase the productivity and the health and the creativity of that 80%, even just a tiny bit, it's a huge investment in the future in your company.
To learn more about the city's Green Power Community Challenge, go online to rockvillemd.gov/environment. At the conclusion of the national challenge, the community with the highest green power percentage and the community that uses the most kilowatt hours of green power will receive national recognition from the EPA. The winning communities will be declared in September. We had the chance to check in with Mayor Marcuccio from Mayor and Council One-on-One for our number 3 story. And I know you wanted to use this opportunity to voice some of your concerns and some of your thoughts about the Pike.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to do that. You know, Rockville Pike is Rockville's golden mile. I've said that many times over. There's some real flaws, and some of the flaws that bug me a bit is that we haven't taken into consideration the connection to White Flint. Now, White Flint is going ahead with its plans, and it's got its transitway down the center of its boulevard. That's not so with the Rockville Pike plan. Our transitways are going to be bus lanes on the outside in the feeder lanes, and the center essentially is the traffic lane. Well, I don't think that's a smart move. I'll tell you, if you're going to have to cross Rockville Pike, I sure think it would be better to cross it halfway than all the way. So the notion of combining the central, I guess, central passage that is called for in White Flint is much more sensible. Much more sensible. I mean, that's one that really, I have to say, has to be rethought. Another is that the design in this calls for a diminishing role for our Planning Commission by this form-based zoning that's proposed, by a town architect that's proposed, which I never heard in any of the charrettes, but somehow it's in the plan. I think take the power away from the people. They take the decision-making for that pike will no longer be in the hands of the citizens, where the government is still of, by, and for the people. They have got to be party to what decisions are made about their community, or there's no point in having a municipality. So I would say that needs a hard look at it. The increase of density that's called for on the Pike will do just fine for the coffers of the state and the county. But it's not going to bring a lot of extra money into the city. And this illusion that all this extra development is going to bring you all these extra taxes, it's also going to bring you all the extra effort it needs to service that 2.1 miles. That is not going to be cheap, and the city is going to have to build its future around how much it can service the Pike, not the neighborhoods of the city. I think that's a serious issue. I also have a lot of trouble with the public-private partnership routine. What is it? $453 million was committed by the county to do White Flint. Oh my, that's my tax money. That's your tax money. You know, we should be thinking a little bit about that. I think that one bothers me a bit.
So what do you recommend, Madam Mayor, for how we move forward? We have this draft of the plan. We have a series of of meetings and work sessions coming up. What do you recommend?
I think we ought to go back to the public. I don't know that we necessarily needed a professional consultant. Sure, they have wonderful ideas when it comes to doing things that have been proven to work in various communities. But let's talk about Rockville's needs, not necessarily the need to change our community totally. I am very worried that this community is now partly people who live here, in single-family homes, versus folks that are going to be in a more dense environment. Townhouses are certainly places where people have cars. You don't get rid of your car. It's just because we build a lot of density doesn't change the dynamics of the need of the community. I think that's the first place, is go back to the community, take some good hard looks at what we want as the future of Rockville.
For more on the mayor's interview on Rockville's Pike, go online to rockvillemd.gov and search Rockville 11. The city's biggest party of the year is coming up this Memorial Day weekend. Hometown Holidays is back again, and it's shaping up to be better than ever. Here's the latest in our #2 story. We're here in Rockville Town Square, which will be transformed here shortly over Memorial Day weekend, all thanks to the special events crew and Colleen McQuitty. Colleen, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited for Hometown Holidays. Wanted to check in with you to get a preview of what to expect for this year.
Okay, well, we're really excited about this year's event. The big thing is our big headliner on Sunday night, May 29th, is George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. So he's the godfather of funk. 15 members of that band have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's known for his music, Atomic Dog, We Want the Funk, and so we're really excited about that night. Kelly Bell Band, which is a Baltimore-based blues band, is going to be opening for him on Sunday night. And then on Saturday night, our headliner is Bob Schneider. He's from Austin Grill, and he pretty much plays anything and everything. Hip-hop, country, rock, funk, anything you can think of. And opening for him will be Lloyd Dobler Effect. They're a Silver Spring-based rock band. And some other activities that we have going on that weekend, of course, is our Taste of Rockville, which Community Ministries of Rockville and Rockville Chamber of Commerce sponsors. And they are currently right now accepting applications from Rockville restaurants. So you can go on the city's website and any Rockville restaurants out there that want to get involved, they can definitely apply on there. And then we also have the Art and Craft Festival. We have about 50 artists signed up right now, so anywhere from photography, glass, jewelry, all that kind of stuff. So it's all one-of-a-kind, handmade works. So come out and purchase some one-of-a-kind arts. Then we also have our Rockville Rooftop is sponsoring the Rockville Teen Dance up on the rooftop, and that'll be Sunday evening. We'll also have we'll have nonprofit booths from local nonprofits can come out. And then we have, 8 stages of music and entertainment with over 40 bands and entertainers. So it's going to be a fun-filled weekend. And then, of course, Monday closes the weekend with the 67th annual Rockville Memorial Day ceremony and parade. So that's Monday on May 30th. So come out and enjoy the weekend with us.
Well, it's a huge party every year. The whole city comes out, and people from outside the city, and we know that it's a huge logistical operation for you and your team. Can you tell us where we are right now in terms of how is this area right here going to be transformed? What's going to be on this main drag here on Maryland Avenue?
Well, starting the Friday before, people who drive by are really going to see a change. We're going to start installing tents and generators and all that kind of stuff. So right along here will be the Art and Craft Festival, and then right down the street, right down Maryland Avenue, we'll have the Taste of Rockville and a bunch of our sponsors and stuff. And then, of course, the parking lot behind me, that's in front of Regal Cinemas, is where the main stage and the kids' activities are. So.
Well, we're really excited because actually right here in front of 30 Courthouse Square, Rockville 11 will be broadcasting live. So we're going to encourage people to be a part of the live show too.
Yeah, we're excited about that. It'll be on Saturday. It'll be all day long. People can tune in to the Rockville 11 to kind of find out for more information.
How did it go? Last year we know that you did a kind of a new thing with the freestyle stage. Is that coming back?
Oh yeah, definitely. We had some great performers on there, and it was great. It was free for us, but they were great performers. So that's going to be down kind of near Gordon Biersch again this year.
Literally a freestyle stage.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Colleen, we're so excited for Hometown Holidays this year, happening Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be sure to check in with you as we get closer.
Great. Thanks for having me, Bridget.
For our #1 story, a preview of summer camps and classes being offered from the city, along with the latest on the proposed FY12 budget. The city is offering a lacrosse class this spring and summer, and we stopped by a recent practice to find out more.
Well, this is my 7th, 8th grade team, and they are warming up right now, and they are just wonderful players and wonderful girls. It is just so good for them. I mean, they learn teamwork, and they're fit, they're athletic, and they have fun. I mean, I see so many smiles on all these girls' faces, and they just love it. Love lacrosse, love sports. The success they feel, you know, I just see how much better each and every one of these girls have gotten. I've coached a lot of them for 3 to 4 years, and they have just improved so much. And just the excitement that they feel when they go up to Baltimore for tournaments and can really play with these, you know, the really good teams. So,
well, one of the big things that we're trying to do right now is get everybody moving, getting them active. And, you know, with the childhood obesity problem, we're trying to really make kids aware at a young age of how important it is to become fit and establish good, healthy lifestyles, you know, eating right, exercise. And really, parents, adults are really key role models to the kids. So hopefully they can be setting good examples, and the kids will follow them in their footsteps. We really want to get them moving, and really the recreation department has so many different offerings from children ages, you know, 3 and 4 months up through adult. So some of the programs that we're offering this spring, of course, are lacrosse. We have a brand new boys instructional lacrosse program for ages 6 to 9, and we also have girls lacrosse for ages 5 to 15. We also have a brand new family golf class that we're excited about, and the children can be they have to be 8 and above, and have to be with their parent, but we thought that was a really nice way for the parents to bond and learn golf together. Other types of classes that we have that we really want to get people going and exercising, we have a power chi energetics class. We have a awesome 80s class where the people will be dancing to the 80s music. We also have tennis classes, children through adult classes. We're having them at 2 new sites this spring. One is at Mattie Stepanek Park, and the other one is at Montrose Tennis Court. So we're excited about adding those facilities. And then this summer we also have a lot of neat camps, and some of them are specifically designed around to get kids fit. We have Let's Move for 5 to 7-year-olds, which is brand new, and we have Kinetic Camp, which is for the older ages, 7 to 9. But it's all about, they'll do anything from rock climbing to doing yoga, kung fu. They go swimming, and they have like a lot of healthy snacks that they'll make smoothies, and you know, they'll have different days where they get points for having healthy nut lunches and things like that. So you know, we have sports camps, we have a lot of things in recreation, both classes and camps, that'll really get people moving, we hope. If people want to find out more about our programs, they can go to our website at www.rockvillemd.gov/recreation. And all kinds of programs are listed there, or they can call our recreation department at 240-314-8620.
The FY 2012 recommended operating budget of $108.8 million was successfully introduced to the city. The budget includes plans to continue improving the city's infrastructure and maintain current programs like pedestrian safety initiatives and the city's water distribution systems.
Madam Mayor,
there are a series of public meetings leading up to the final adoption of the FY 2012 budget in May. To learn more about the proposed budget and how you can get involved, visit rockvillemd.gov/budget or email your input to mayorcouncil@rockvillemd.gov. That's it for this edition of Rockville's 11. All of these stories and more can be found online at rockvillemd.gov. I'm Bridget Breuer. On behalf of the whole team here, thanks for watching.